Hi all, welcome to my Saudi Team of the Season predictions video. This one, some individual cards could be really nice, but as a whole it's usually one Team of the Season that people generally don't really care about. If there's individual cards, like the marquee ones, generally the ones that people do get a little bit excited for because they at least have a bit of use to try out, but if you can smash like so, would be much appreciated. Sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at @GIsLegend. All links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. Comment down below who you think could feature in the Saudi team of the season. Obviously we may get more than 11, I'd imagine we'll have an objective, SBCs, so you might end up with say 15 cards or something, but I thought we would still at least I went on last year's format just as an idea, but I was like, where do we kind of then go from there? Because I thought, if I'm honest, there's a good enough justification to do a team of like 18 and then say 5 cards being content cards, like an objective and 4 SBCs, or 2 objective cards, like one say being the silver star and whatnot. But anyways, so my team starts off with Casio in net. He's been like the most consistent goalie this season, and with no goalies in the league this year, I was thinking he kind of stood out a bit as well, because it's like Altoon have been very impressive this season, and that's kind of what helped his case. And it actually, in full honesty, if you were to boost him up plus 15, it makes the card a bit usable. It's still about Ederson level, but it might be cheaper than him for all we know, but time will tell. Defenders, Al Sharani is my first shout. He's one of Al Hilal's kind of like marquee defenders, and he just, when I was digging down through the stats, he was very consistent from all areas of the park, like for what he delivered for the team, and that's kind of what made me justified with him. Iago Santos, the Brazilian centre back for Altoon, another one. Obviously I'm only going from what I've seen in stats. Like, he's been very impressive from like a defence. I think a couple of times I've actually been on the cusp of including him in my predictions for Team of the Week, and something's of it's either he's not kept a clean sheet, but he's got a goal or an assist or something. He's done something and you see it, so I want to include him, but he's not featured. It's like Abdul Hamid, kind of similar with him for Al Ittihad, and that's kind of rounds off the defence. I know it's like I've tried to be fair with my boosts, but I'm only working off what was initial base cards as well. So yes, they are 84, 86, 89, but remember, everything's just a potential, as it were. Like it's like plus 20, I think it was plus 20, plus 18, plus 15, I think I did, roughly, give or take. Midfield is, in my opinion, the most impressive for 2 particular players, but we'll get to them in a minute. Slitty is the first one. Used to be in France, used to be half decent, and he obviously came over to the Saudi League, doing really well, especially this season, and I fought very hard to ignore him. Christian Guanca last year was a team season SBC. This year I think he will make the main team along with Ever Banega. Very strange transfer, Banega going from Sevilla to Saudi League. However, he's translated to it very well and got himself an inform. He's been easily in my Team of the Week predictions, as I'm either mentioned or in my notes, about 7 or 8 times. And usually when you've done that kind of performance consistently over the season, I think you're going to get in the Team of the Season, and hopefully it makes him usable. Like a 93 rated version of him definitely would be, especially if you boost him in the right departments. The one I'm most excited about is Romarinho. I enjoy his silver inform that we got from Silver Stars. His inform's not too bad. Last year he had a fun Team of the Season card from objectives. This year I think he will make the main team. I know it's a plus 10. Obviously, if depending how they were to go about the boost, but also who was to be like the best cards. If I'm honest, Romarinho's definitely up there for one of the best players in the league this season. Bafétimba Gomis, another impressive season for him, and he could easily be significantly boosted higher. Like Like, I genuinely think he could have like 99 shot with maybe say near 90 pace even. End of the day, you want to make him as usable as possible, and that's the way you want to look at it, and he is actually quite a fun card when you use him. Definitely ticks a few boxes. TOTS Carrillo, another Al Hilal player that I've gone for, standing out very impressively on the wings, been close a few times to having a second in form, hasn't happened, so I'm hoping team of the season is definitely inbound for him. Al Soma always seems to get a team of the season, whether it be a SBC, whether it was like a League SBC card or main team of the season, and he's always like a bit of fun. That's the way a lot of us look at it with him. He's always a good physical card, good shooting, good pace, and does the business really. That's kind of what you kind of need in a forward, especially just when you're trying to have a bit of fun during team of the season. For objectives, SBCs, all that kind of good stuff, I was looking at Petros and Vieto maybe as SBCs or an objective card, and for a flashback I was looking at Giovinco. Giovinco's had a fairly quiet season, but to try and generate a bit of demand in him, his team of season last year was one of these cards that if you had the coins was worth trading with. Like, it was a really fun card to trade with, and I genuinely think Giovinco could easily happen as a flashback. You could also put a case out for Hamdallah. He's not been as impressive as the last couple of seasons, but Hamdallah definitely could even sneak in as a potential flashback SBC card. For team of season moments, I had looked at Strandberg and Petratos, and I was also generally looking more in that kind of like midfield forward like kind of bracket, but it's going to be tricky. It will be a bit tricky. It's more trying to balance it out really. That was the problem, and some of the players I wanted to include aren't in FIFA at all. They're not in foot like they've had them, like especially in defenders. Like some of the defenders I wanted to include, they're not in foot, or same for the forwards. Like but it is what it is. But when you're trying to say to yourself, because if I'm honest, if I'd got for 18, would have had I think it was like Abru and a couple others that had good seasons, and there was a couple of defenders that had good seasons, and I thought, you go and search for them on foot, they're not there. As I said, I would have probably easily managed 18. 11 became a little bit harder, so that's kind of how maybe say a couple of players maybe might have not got in, or they would have got in, they would have just been when you juice up the team this season. But let me know, folks, in the comments below who you think will make the Saudi team of the season. Smash like, so sub to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all later.